My name is Victoria Winters. A dawn obscured by mists from the sea slowly creeps toward Collinwood, and through the morning mists, a man emerges from the darkest pit the night can know. But the peace he looks for will not come with the day, for through the mists, into the morning, he brings with him the torments of the night.
There you are. I've waited up the entire night for you.
Leave me alone.
Oh, I'll let you alone, all right. But first, you're going to answer a few questions.
I can't.
You were in the cemetery again.
No,
Don't deny it. I followed you there.
I wasn't there. I swear I wasn't.
I saw your car there.
But you didn't find me there.
Oh, no. Because you'd run off somewhere. Now, I want to know one thing, and one thing only. What were you doing there? Why did you go there? I demand an answer. All right, then. I'll give you the answer, because I happen to know why you went there.
But you do?
Perfectly obvious.
No. No, it isn't true.
I'm ashamed to say that it is. Just look at you. First you say you're sick, and then you run off into the night.
Let me go upstairs to my room. I gotta rest.
Oh, yes, of course, Woody. Of course you have to rest. It's very exhausting labor, isn't it?
What?
Doing what you were doing all night.
I wasn't doing anything.
Oh, no. No, you were upstairs all the time, dreaming sweet dreams.
Why can't you just leave me alone? I want to go to sleep. I don't feel well.
A very convenient relapse, I'm sure. Pretending that you're sick during the day. To cover up what you're doing at night.
I tell you I wasn't doing anything.
You were looking for the jewels, Willie.
What?
That's why you went to the cemetery, isn't it? That's why you went there the first time. And that's why you went there last night, isn't it? Answer me! Isn't it?
Yes, the jewels.
And you admit it.
Yes, I admit it. I was looking for the jewels.
I thought so. And I suppose you expect to go on looking for them until you find them.
No, I won't look for them anymore.
I agree with you, Willie, because you're not going to have another chance.
Please, I gotta lie down.
No, no, you're not. You're getting out. Because I'm driving you into town, and you're taking the next bus.
I can't. I'm sick.
Come on. I've packed your things. They're in a car outside.
I can't move.
Oh, no more, I suppose, than you could last night, when you bolted out of here.
I don't feel well.
Oh, well, isn't that too bad? Then a nice ride in the country air will do you a lot of good, Willie.
I want to leave, but I can't.
You want to leave, so you can get back to your little treasure hunt?
No. I never want to go back there. Never.
Never? Until the next time?
I mean it. I never want to go back there.
All right, then. Let me fulfill your little dream, Willie. Come on. I said come on.
I can't.
Of course you can.
Please, I want to go to sleep. I have to sleep.
Sleep? Well, then you can sleep in the car, Willie. Come on, get up. I said get up. Exactly how stupid do you think I am?
Listen, you're my friend. Help me.
I'll help you as far as the car.
I can't get up.
A morning air will do you good. Come on.
Morning?
Yes, morning. Come on, let's get going.
Please, I'm sick. I can't go.
Look at me. I said, look at me. I've got to know that you're not lying to me again.
I'm not lying to you. I'm sick. Honest. Please, help me. Help me upstairs.
Do you want the jewels that bad? To go after them when you're this sick?
No, I don't want any jewels. Never. I want to sleep. Sleep. Help me. Please help me.
I never should have looked at that painting in the first place.
What?
That one with all the jewels. If you hadn't looked at them, you'd have stayed home last night when you were sick instead of running off.
I told you I don't want any jewels.
Yes, that's what you say. Now, Willie. But what about tonight?
Tonight? No, not tonight. Not tonight. Never. Never.
Come on. Come on.
Are you awake? Loomis. I said Loomis. Wake up, Loomis! Well, good morning, young man.
Still morning? Good.
Actually, it's early afternoon. And you seem to need a little extra rest today, don't you?
Please. I want to sleep.
Yes, I'm sure you do. But I'm afraid at the moment that's impossible. You're leaving. Come on, get up.
Leave me alone. I'm sick.
That, as you know, is a blatant lie.
Oh, it isn't.
The entire household is aware that you drove off last night and probably didn't return till early this morning. Now, you couldn't possibly be sick. Come on, get up.
I can't.
Do you want me to use force?
Oh, no force. No fights. I'll get up.
And let me tell you something right now. If you think you're going to my sister and try to get her to let you stay on for any longer time, it's not going to do any good.
I'll go.
Because she sent me here to ask you to leave, to tell you to leave.
Please, give me a hand.
I wouldn't do such a thing. It's humiliating to watch this charade of yours, let alone participate in it.
Just help me.
You don't need any help, and you know it. Now get up.
Please help me get to my feet.
I must say you do this very well. In pretending to be sick, you manage to look sick. You look ghastly, Loomis. I mean this only as a compliment to your histrionic talents.
I don't think I'm going to make it.
Bravo, Loomis! Encore! Cyril, Bernhard could take lessons from you. A brilliant performance.
Help me. Please, I'm...
This is ridiculous. Loomis, get up. Do you hear me? This is absolutely absurd. I don't intend to put up with this any longer.
I can understand your doubts. I had them myself at first.
I have no doubts whatever. This is perfectly clear to me. That man is not sick.
I know that it's hard to believe.
Not hard. It's impossible.
But one look at the man.
One look at the man, taken the first moment I saw him, proved to me that he was a fraud. And nothing has inspired me to change my mind since.
All right. I know that there are some things can be faked, and Willie isn't beyond them. But this is the real thing.
I don't believe you, and I insist that he leave here, in compliance with my sister's instructions.
All right, then. Suppose I can get him away from here. But suppose then he has a turn for the worse.
In his case, a mild cough would be a turn for the worse, because I tell you there is nothing wrong with this man.
There is something wrong.
All right, then what is it?
I don't know. But how do we know that it isn't something really serious?
Oh, we could find that out very easily by simply calling in a competent doctor.
But Willie insists that he doesn't need a doctor.
And I am the first to agree with him. But you think that he's a sick man. Obviously, you're the one who needs the doctor to convince you that he isn't. Now, will you please call him?
Well, if Willie hadn't been so insistent that he didn't need one.
Indeed. I'm sure he didn't.
Well, I suppose I should have called one whether he wanted one or not.
Well, you'd better allow me as one of the locals. I can get one of the less addled quacks we have serving the countryside here.
If you know a competent doctor, please call him.
I'm-
I'll be very grateful.
I'm sure that any doctor that I would call would be competent enough for this case. Excuse me. Yes, this is Mr. Collins. Who's calling? Oh, good afternoon, Sheriff. I'm sorry, but it's out of the question. Well, I have a very full schedule. No, I won't be here this afternoon, but I'll be in town. But I won't have time. Well, perhaps if you told me what it was all about. Sheriff, when will you learn that you're supposed to solve mysteries, not create them? Now, why do you want to see me? Oh. All right. I'll be there. The local sheriff has periodic cravings for intelligent conversation, which I alone seem to be able to satisfy. He undoubtedly wants me to head a select committee for some unsuitable charity or other.
Did he mention why he wanted to see you?
He wouldn't dare. If I knew, I'd refuse to go. Nothing bores me more than serving on these ridiculous committees.
Well, did he give any indication that it might be important?
Of course he did. To an official, nothing is more important than the formation of these committees. I won't be able to call the doctor. But I'll give you the directory. And you'll find it under Woodard.
I'll call him immediately.
There's one advantage to going to see the sheriff. I'll be spared any fond farewells to your friend. He will be gone by the time I get back, won't he?
Well, I should say that's up to the doctor.
Then I consider the decision already made. If my sister asks for me, tell her that I went to the sheriff.
Yes, the sheriff.
But don't tell her that it's anything to worry about. I'm sure it won't be anything important. I'm just not that lucky.
Oh, I'll tell her.
But I don't understand.
Neither do we.
No, I mean, if there's some serious disease afflicting the family farms, why isn't a veterinarian called in? Why the sheriff?
Mr. Collins, it was the vet that called us.
But it seems to be a medical problem. The cattle are dying. He should know the cause.
He knows it all right.
Well, then what was it?
It isn't very pleasant.
Well, I don't require that it should be. Just tell me what it was.
They all died from loss of blood.
Believe me, I am concerned about anything that goes wrong on any of the family farms, just as I would be concerned if anything went wrong with any of the family holdings. But I am still at a loss to understand why this is a matter for the law.
Well, if it were a disease that caused the loss of blood, the matter would be medical, but it wasn't a disease. Each one that was found dead died the same way.
Well, what way was that?
It was drained of blood completely, and from what evidence we have so far, expertly.
Drained of blood?
That's right.
You mean attacked by some wild animal?
No, I said it was done expertly. No animal could have done it.
You mean by a person?
That's what it looks like.
What kind of depraved vandalism is that?
We don't know.
Has this happened, Sheriff, only on the farms belonging to my family?
No.
Well, then it isn't someone who simply is trying to destroy Collins' property.
No, apparently not.
What a grisly thing for a man to do. Drain an animal of all its blood.
Yes, it isn't very nice to contemplate.
But who? What kind of man would do such a thing?
We don't know, Mr. Collins, but that's what we're going to have to find out.
Well, one thing is certain.
Yes, Doctor, what is that?
There's no infection. In other words, he's not suffering from any viral disease.
What is it, then? Obviously, the lad is very sick.
No. No, he's not sick at all.
He's not. Just look at him.
He's weak, but he's not sick unless the two are considered one and the same.
Would you explain that to me more simply? Now, I know he's weak, but isn't that why he's sick?
And not necessarily.
Well, what is wrong, then?
Well, for one thing, his pulse, his heartbeat, is quite threaded.
Threaded?
I'm sorry, way above normal.
Is there something wrong with his heart?
Well, I hope not, considering the extra work it's being called on to do. You see, the reason for the extra heart activity is that there's less blood in the body. So the heart must work that much harder to circulate what there is through the veins.
Less blood?
Yes. What the man is suffering from is a loss of blood. An enormous loss of blood.
We'll be keeping a special lookout, and everyone at Collinwood might do the same.
Yes, of course.
And if you get any idea as to who it might be...
Think of it being a human, not even an animal.
Well, human beings have always outdistanced animals as far as destruction is concerned.
Yes, I suppose so. To drain an animal of blood and leave no trace, only the bloodless carcass.
I wouldn't dwell on it too much. Just keep an eye open, and we'll keep you informed how our investigation is going.
Why would anyone want to do a thing like this? Why would anyone want to slaughter this way?
I don't know. But that's what we're going to find out.
Well, I hope you can, Sheriff.
Thank you for coming in.
Not at all.
And if the wound is so small, Doctor, how did he lose all that blood?
Probably because it goes so deep, cuts right into the vein. But there is one thing that puzzles me a little.
Yes, Doctor?
If the wound goes as deeply as I think it does, I can't see how it could have healed so quickly. Of course, everybody's healing powers vary.
Well, is it good or is it bad that it healed so quickly?
Neither. Merely puzzling. Well, see to it that he gets as much rest as he can. He drinks a lot of fluids and... Oh, Mr. Collins, how are you?
Good afternoon, Doctor. Well, were you able to diagnose our guest's ailment?
Well, I was just telling Mr. McGuire. He has no ailment at all.
Oh, no ailment at all. Well, now, Mr. McGuire.
But he is suffering from a severe loss of blood.
Loss of blood?
Yes. He's very weak, and will be so for quite some time. He must have absolute rest. I was just telling Mr. McGuire.
How did he lose so much blood?
He has a cut on his arm.
Loss of blood?
You do take the doctor's word for it, don't you?
Yes. If that's what's wrong, then that's what's wrong. There's nothing more to be said.
Were you going to say something, Roger?
No. No, nothing at all.
He's in no real danger. Given a little time and a lot of rest, the right food, he'll be fine. Just fine.
I can't go back there.
I won't go back. won't. I won't.
Dark Shadows is a Dan Curtis production.